Hello friends, in this video we'll discuss about API model settings. Inside last video, we have seen the concept of API controller class and also created API needed methods. In this video we'll create API model. Back to editor. So as we know that inside this first phase of API development, we are following employees table. So to interact with employees table, we need our API model. And we'll create API model in this video using PHP Authentication command. So once we use and create our model class, it will store inside this app and models folder. Let's back to project terminal, PHP Authentication. So now if we go inside our make section group, so we can see we have a command called make model. Look at single line description. It create a new eloquent model class. So let's use and create our model class. So PHP Authentication make model. And one more thing, before creating any model class, we have a naming convention inside Laravel. Model class name always should be singular. But in this case, as we know, the table name we have called employees, which is plural, so we need the model class name as only employee. So here PHP Authentication make model and it will be employee. Press enter, model class created. Back to editor, go inside app, models, and here we have employee.php. Now according to need, we need to do some settings here. So the first setting is that, as we know from migration or from employees table, we have removed timestamps column that created at and updated at. So we need to tell our application or model class that we are not using our timestamp column. So here public timestamps equals to false. So before adding this line, if we go inside database, migrations, let's open employees migration file. So from this employee structure, we can see that we are not using any timestamps column. Once we use timestamps method, we know that from Laravel basics concept that it created two columns, created at and updated at. So we need to tell our model that we are not using timestamps column. So public timestamps equals to false. Now another property that is protected fillable equals to array. Now inside this fillable array, we need to pass all the columns where we need the values. So this model class called employee is interacting with employees table. So let's go to our database, employees table, go to structure. So once we create any new employee, so we want that the values for name, email, phone number, age and gender. So it means these columns are fillable. So go here inside editor, inside fillable array, we need to pass all the column names where we need values. So name, email, phone number, age and gender. Here we have a question. Question is that why we are not assigning ID value or ID column inside this fillable array, and it's because that ID column is auto generated. It means whenever we create any new employee for this table, automatically this ID value will be generated. So that's why we didn't insert ID column inside this fillable array. So all we have done all the settings for model class. Now next, this model is basically to interact with employees table. So before interaction, we need an object of that. So what I will do, I will go inside app, HTTP, controllers, API and API controller class. And in this API controller class, we have all needed API methods. So to interact with employees table, always we create an instance of employee model. So how to create an instance of that? So first we need to import our model class right here inside this API controller. So I will use employee. So here we have imported that namespace of that class right here at the top of this declaration. Now if suppose we are using this employee model inside this add employee method, so simple employee equals to new and employee. So we can see that now we have created an instance of this employee model. So by using this object, we can interact with our employees table. So in the next video, we'll see the concept of interacting or creating our APIs using this model and all about these methods. So for the time being, here we have the model class what we had created, done two settings, timestamps and fillable, and also loaded that model class right here inside this controller file. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.